Healing is often imagined as a straight road, pain at one end, peace at the other. But real healing is nothing like that. It is slow, uneven, and filled with pauses where you wonder if you are even moving at all. This is the story of Ayan, but it could easily be the story of anyone who has ever been broken and still chose to breathe one more time. Ayan used to believe healing meant forgetting the night everything changed, forgetting the voice that once promised forever and then disappeared, forgetting the version of himself that trusted too easily. But healing did not arrive as forgetting. It arrived as survival. After the accident, the doctors said his body would recover faster than his heart. They were right. His bones healed, the bruises faded, but the silence inside him grew louder. Each morning felt like climbing out of a deep dark well with bare hands. Some days he didn't even try to climb. He just lay there, staring at the ceiling, counting his breaths like they were the only proof that he was still alive. People around him said, "Be strong." They said time heals everything. But time did not heal him. Time only moved forward, and Ayan had to decide whether he would move with it or be crushed beneath it. There were days when even breathing felt like work. Inhale, pain. Exhale, memories. Every breath reminded him of what he had lost. The life he planned, the dreams that ended without warning, the person he was before everything shattered. One evening, while sitting alone on his balcony, Ayan noticed an old plant in a cracked pot. It was dry, neglected, almost dead. Yet somehow, a tiny green leaf pushed its way through the soil. He stared at it for a long time. That leaf didn't grow because conditions were perfect. It grew because it had no other choice. That night, Ayan whispered to himself, "Just breathe. Not be happy. Not be healed. Just breathe." The next day, he took a small step. He didn't run, didn't smile, didn't pretend everything was okay. He simply walked to the end of the street and back. His legs trembled. His heart raced. But he returned home, knowing something important. He had moved forward, even if only a little. Healing taught him patience the hard way. Some days felt like progress, others felt like failure. But he learned that healing isn't measured by how far you go, it's measured by the fact that you didn't give up. There were nights when old memories returned like storms, nights when he cried quietly so the world wouldn't hear his weakness. But even in those moments, his chest rose and fell, breath after breath, proof that he was still choosing life, even when life hurt. Slowly, almost invisibly, things began to change. He laughed once, then felt guilty for it. He enjoyed music again, then cried afterward. Healing didn't erase pain, it made room for joy beside it. Ayan realized something powerful. Every breath forward counts, even the breaths taken while crying, even the breaths taken while afraid, especially those. Months later, when someone asked him how he healed, he didn't say, "I became strong." He said, "I stayed." He stayed through the pain. He stayed through the emptiness. He stayed long enough to discover that healing is not fast, but it is real. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is breathe again. Loneliness doesn't always mean being alone. Sometimes it means being surrounded by people who don't see you. This was something Zara learned slowly, painfully, over the course of many quiet years. Zara was always the strong one, the listener, the supporter, the person others leaned on when life became heavy. But when her own heart began to break, she realized something terrifying. There was no one left to lean on. Her loneliness didn't arrive suddenly. It crept in through unanswered messages, through conversations that stayed shallow, through smiles that never reached her eyes. She could be in a crowded room and still feel invisible. At night, when the world went quiet, the loneliness grew louder. Thoughts echoed in her mind. Am I too much? Am I not enough? She replayed old conversations, searching for the moment when she became easy to forget. Some days she questioned her worth. Other days she questioned her existence. But deep inside her chest, something kept beating, softly, stubbornly. Her heart had not given up, even when she wanted to. Loneliness taught Zara lessons she never asked for. It taught her how to sit with herself without distractions. It taught her how to cry silently and still wake up the next morning. It taught her that strength isn't loud, it's quiet persistence. One rainy afternoon, Zara sat by the window watching people walk past with umbrellas. Everyone seemed to be going somewhere, with someone. She felt left behind, but then she noticed something strange. The rain didn't stop the world. People kept moving, and so did her heart. She began journaling her thoughts, not for anyone else, but for herself. Each page became a place where she was seen, where her pain mattered, where she didn't have to be strong for anyone but her own survival. On her loneliest days, getting out of bed felt like a victory. Eating felt like an achievement. Smiling felt impossible. Yet she did those things anyway, not because she felt hopeful, but because her heart was learning endurance.
Loneliness stripped Zara down to her core, without applause, without validation, without reassurance. And in that emptiness, she discovered something unexpected: self-respect. She learned to speak kindly to herself, to stop apologizing for needing rest, to stop chasing people who never stayed. Each lonely day became a training ground, shaping her resilience in silence. There were moments when she broke completely, when she questioned whether life would ever feel warm again. But even in those moments, her heart kept beating, learning, growing, strengthening. Strength didn't arrive as confidence. It arrived as acceptance. Acceptance that loneliness is not a flaw, it's a season. A painful one, yes, but also a powerful one. One day Zara realized she no longer feared being alone. She had survived it. She had learned from it. Her heart had expanded instead of shrinking. When someone eventually entered her life, she didn't cling. She didn't beg to be seen. She stood whole, because loneliness had taught her how to be her own anchor. Even on her loneliest days, her heart was never weak. It was learning how to carry her through storms without breaking. And that is a strength few people ever understand.